You're listening to the best of inspirational music and conversation radio. Brand new day with Emily Blue right here on We Talk Radio. I am your host, Emily Blue, here with co-host DeAnn Lax. Thank you for joining us. Joy Seekers, can you believe it? We are halfway through 2021. DeAnn and I know you are enjoying this month's theme, Educate, Enable, and Empower. The theme focuses on intellectual and social instruction training to give individuals authority to make things possible by becoming stronger and more confident. We have a phenomenal guest for you on this evening, Lady Trinette Wilson.
Hey, hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So we're just going to go ahead and we are going to dive right in.
Wonderful.
So tell our listening audience a little about yourself and what you do.
Wonderful. Well, hello, everyone. Hello, audience. My name is Trinette Wilson, known as Lady Trinette Wilson in the etiquette world. I am an etiquette consultant, social historian, and an author and ghostwriter of over 57 books. So I work to make people their very, very best. And I'm just so honored to be used by God in this way.
Awesome. DeAnn?
Hi, Lady Trinette. I hope you are doing well on this evening. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome. So my first question is, how did you get started in the etiquette industry, and what was the inspiration behind your founding of the National Association of Urban Etiquette Professionals?
Great question. You know, when I first started, I was really in the teen pregnancy prevention field. So I was a teen mom and felt a real calling by God to give back in that area in some way. And so as I was doing that, the field was really moving more toward giving, condoms and things like that. And as I'm talking to the girls, I'm discovering that they didn't have even basic skills of hygiene and being a young lady. And so immediately, because I am an AKA, I had already gone through some etiquette training. And I thought, well, you know what? I want to dig deeper into the etiquette field. So that's how I kind of got started, seeing that we were meeting a need, but the need that we were meeting was not really what the girls needed. And so I started with wanting to certify women and men to teach in predominantly African-American communities. And so my first class had Miss Black USA, Queen Latifah's hairdresser, and someone who was on Living Single. So when I saw that, I knew I was doing the right thing.
Hey, good for you. And so my next question is, you recently wrote a book entitled Wives in Training, The Ultimate Guide to Becoming a Godly Wife.
Yes.
In the book, you tie etiquette in with marriage. And so I'd like to know what inspired you to write this book first and foremost. And I would assume that a lot of it comes from your career and working with the young ladies and teaching etiquette there. But also, can you share with our listeners briefly how you explored the 9 key areas of marriage etiquette?
That's another great question. So as a mother and a wife of 31 years, so when you're married for that long, you begin to discover different things that make your marriage more fulfilling, more happy, communicate better. And so I started implementing little etiquette rules in my marriage, around respect, around communication, around sharing of duties. And as I began to implement it, God began to pour into my heart that there are maybe some wives who maybe don't know how to do a basic table setting. There may be some wives who don't know how to entertain when guests come over. And so that's some of the book. Some of the book is about how to discuss issues such as in-laws, and some of them call them outlaws, step-kids, religion. So I just thought it was really important as a successful, to be married 31 years. I won't say I'm successful, but what I will say is that we've been able to stay together that long, and I wanted to share it in a unique way with women who were just getting married.
And it's certainly a blessing. 31 years is definitely a blessing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. So my question, Lady T, is there are many individuals who are struggling as they journey from courtship to marriage. And as I stated earlier, our theme for the show this month is educate, enable, and empower. But we also wanted to focus on marriage and training. Many of us know that June is the beginning of wedding season, right? What advice would you give to single women as well as newly married women as they navigate through this process?
Ooh, so navigate through the marriage season, navigate through courting.
Courtship to marriage.
Yes. Well, so one thing that's very, very important is to understand that you're merging two individuals into one person. And that's whether you're courting, married, whatever, your overall goal is to be one in this relationship. And so what I would tell single women and married women is not to try to change your mate, because you're not God and you're not their mother. And so if you didn't like what he was doing before you got married, you're going to hate it when you marry him. So don't think you're going to change that thing just because a ring goes on his finger. It's going to be amplified because in his mind now you belong to him. So what I would say is those little things that irk you as a single person in your courtship will definitely move over into the marriage. And if you can't deal with it, and you're going to spend the rest 10, 12 years trying to change a grown person. You cannot re-raise a grown person. And at the other side, I would say don't let him change you. Now, if there are some things that you could work on as far as being a little bit more submissive, when, during conversations or how you're dealing with him. But it's important to know that you are two whole people come together, not two half of people coming together to make one whole. So hopefully that you give them you all both have the space that you need to be the individual that you are. And then mutual respect. That's a part of allowing them to be themselves. But respect is so crucial because when you're married, you kind of sometimes, this person is here, or if you're dating for a long period of time, this person is here, and you can start making decisions without that person's knowledge. And so one of the rules we have in our home is no decision. You cannot make a purchase over $300 without us discussing it. But let's talk about it, baby. Because, he brings home a car worth $40,000 and you're like, oh, we didn't get a chance to talk about that.
Now, let me ask you a question here.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about over time? I have to admit, I've been married 12 going on 13 years. Amazon, sometimes the block is hot with Amazon. So does that mean a total of 300, or does that mean like 300 is probably, because I have buyer's remorse. So if I'm buying some over 300, it's like but
but you can buy 10 things for 30 and still be okay, right?
Right. I mean, like when those Amazon boxes pop up at the door, it's like, I don't know who that's for. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you know what? In any marriage, and this is the number one thing, really, is communication.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
communication. You're a grown woman, so I don't have to hide anything. I don't have to pretend that I'm not doing what I'm doing. I work very hard for my money, just like he does. And if I want a box from Amazon, that's what it's going to be. But if it is the shared account, if it is shared money that I'm pulling from, then I definitely will have that discussion with him. And then, you know, he'll notice an Amazon, a box or two are coming in, and he'll be like, "Ooh, you're on a little roll," and I'll be like, "Yeah."
Right. Same here. Remember, we talked about that. We were gonna talk. We talked about purchasing that. I just went on and did it. You're gonna ask later.
Again, if it's my own money and it's for my business, I don't discuss it. But if it is our joint account, I would definitely have that discussion. Because you know what, men don't get so mad when they see one big amount come out, but when they see 5, 10, 15,